Welcome to today's explainer. We are going to totally demystify the engine that's literally driving modern technology today. Because let's be real, today's software isn't just written and forgotten. It's continuously manufactured, tested, and deployed at a massive scale. I want you to think of this explainer as a tour of a high-tech, modern digital factory. We're going way beyond the basics here to look at the advanced tools, the automated processes, and the orchestration that actually make these massive global applications run flawlessly. All right, so here is our floor plan for today. We're going to cover bridging dev and ops, popular DevOps tools, the CI/CD conveyor belt, containerization and orchestration, the eyes and ears, and finally wrap things up with the Indian IT impact. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Bridging Dev and Ops. So look, DevOps is much more than just some shiny new tool you buy off a shelf. It is a fundamental cultural shift. It combines your development and operations teams to basically eliminate that historical friction we've always seen between agility and stability. Because in today's IT world, you absolutely have to push updates incredibly fast without breaking the user experience. DevOps is the framework that allows teams to actually achieve that speed, quality, and reliability all at the exact same time. Historically, we dealt with a pretty massive conflict of interest, right? You had developers who were highly incentivized to push out new features, while the operations folks were incentivized to just maintain uptime. And that often resulted in this whole throw-it-over-the-wall mentality. The truly brilliant thing about DevOps is that it acts as the bridge. It perfectly aligns these two isolated islands under shared metrics. It completely shifts the dynamic from a bottleneck of us versus them into a really smooth, unified workflow. Moving right along to Section 2, Popular DevOps Tools. Once you've got that cultural bridge built, well, you need the heavy lifters. These are the specific tools that actually automate the pipeline. We're talking about Jenkins for continuous integration, Docker for standardizing environments, Kubernetes for autoscaling, and Nagios for robust infrastructure monitoring. They step in to completely remove human error from all those tedious, repetitive tasks, and they operate with absolute pinpoint precision. Which brings us to Section 3, the CI/CD conveyor belt. The source material hits the nail on the head here. It describes this process, quote, like a conveyor belt that takes your code from development to production. Continuous integration and continuous deployment mean that instead of those massive, super risky biannual releases that keep everyone up at night, teams are now pushing micro changes multiple times a single day. It drastically reduces any integration friction. So, how does this conveyor belt actually function in the real world? Well, step 1 is build. The code is automatically compiled the exact moment it's committed by a developer. Then step 2 is test. Automated testing suites instantly fire up to check for regressions, which honestly gives developers this huge sense of immediate psychological safety. If it fails, the belt stops dead. But if it passes, we cruise right into step 3, deployment. These baked-in automated checks ensure zero compromise on quality even when you're moving at breakneck speed. All right, let's dive into Section 4, Containerization and Orchestration. This is where we get to Docker and the whole concept of containerization. Think about how standardized shipping containers completely revolutionized global physical trade. Digital containers do the exact same thing. They package an application and all of its messy dependencies into one single immutable unit. This guarantees environment parity, basically meaning if the code works on a developer's local laptop, it is mathematically guaranteed to run the exact same way on the production server. No more, well, it worked on my machine excuses. But when you start scaling up to thousands of these containers across massive global clusters, manual management is literally impossible. You need Kubernetes. It acts as your master orchestrator. Say traffic suddenly spikes. Kubernetes dynamically provisions more pods. If a node suddenly fails, it self-heals by spinning up replacements on the fly. It maintains the desired state of your entire massive infrastructure, and it does it completely automatically. It's a real game changer. Next up, Section 5, the eyes and ears. Because you absolutely need, quote, the eyes and ears of your application. Seriously, you can build the most beautifully automated pipeline in the world, but without deep observability, you are flying entirely blind. You need constant real-time telemetry to know what's actually happening under the hood. This is where tools like Nagios come in, constantly grinding away in the background. They aggregate logs and monitor key performance metrics 24/7. They allow your teams to set up highly proactive alerts. So instead of waiting around for an angry user to complain about a timeout on Twitter, the operations team detects the anomaly and resolves the bottleneck before the customer even notices a blip. And finally, Section 6, the Indian IT impact. The source material specifically ties all of these concepts back to the massive Indian IT sector. As global clients aggressively move away from those clunky multi-year waterfall contracts and start demanding continuous value delivery, DevOps has become the absolute bedrock of survival. By fully mastering this automated assembly line, these IT firms aren't just writing code faster. They are fundamentally shifting how global enterprises deploy and scale world-class infrastructure. Which actually leaves us with a pretty critical thought for the future. As DevOps methodologies fundamentally transform major global IT hubs, how will this ever-evolving automation shape the next generation of software? When intelligent, self-healing systems are the ones orchestrating testing and deploying the very fabric of our digital world, well, the possibilities literally scale infinitely. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I will see you next time on The Explainer.